Language. Language is fundamental to the way that we communicate. All of us learn the alphabets when we're young, and then we learn the sounds that the alphabet makes, and then we put those sounds together. We learn the various different phonetic sounds. But what about an emotional language or an emotional vocabulary? How would we express the various different ways that we feel? Now, if you could just imagine not being able to express the way that I feel to someone, not being able to use language in order to articulate that, communication would be difficult. Not only would communication be difficult, but understanding would be significantly impaired. I want to ask you a question. What is your emotional vocabulary? Now, what are some things that we can use to test our emotional vocabulary? What things would you use to express anger? How many different ways do you have to express anger? What about frustration? What about anxiety? Men, what about if you're afraid or you've been disappointed? How would you express those things? These are just a few questions that we can ask ourselves in order to determine whether or not we have an expansive emotional vocabulary or a very limited emotional vocabulary. Now, this emotional vocabulary is important because once we learn to expand our vocabulary, what we'll discover is that intimacy is more easily achieved. Intimacy is when two people come together or are into one another. Now, it's difficult for me to be into someone when I can't understand them. And it's difficult for them to be into me when they can't understand me. So we want to challenge you at Stamina for Life to improve your emotional vocabulary.